Hey guys, what's up? Jesse here. I wanted to just shoot you guys a quick little house group training video to prepare you guys for what's coming up here in a few weeks. Hope you guys find this useful. I just wanted to be able to find a way to communicate what's going on here, and I thought this would be a great way to do it. I'll try and keep this as quick as possible, but also be informative so that you guys know what to prepare for. Sound good? This is what I'm going to cover so you guys know. I'm going to cover the core values in the small groups, the importance of not doing ministry alone, um, uh, the idea that these groups are considered open groups and not closed groups, the small group covenants that we'll be having, and finally a spiritual health assessment. Okay, so those are the 5 areas that we'll be kind of walking through in this short little informational video thing, or whatever you want to call it. What I want to do is just say this, that I'll be your coach for the next few months, walking you guys through, helping you guys out as things come up and as issues arise. I want to be available to you guys to help walk through any issues that happen all the time, constantly in small groups. Students share things, things come up, and so my goal, my part in this for you guys is to help coach you guys along in your giftings, in your callings as pastors, to help just equip you guys to really encourage the students, and to love on them, and to give them kind of what they need to grow in their spiritual journey. So that's what I'm here for, and I hope that I can be a benefit to you as you're walking through this stuff that you're going through. What I'm going to provide is a booklet that's going to have some house group material. It's going to cover the journey that we're on together and kind of all the basic components to it. It'll cover the questions. It'll cover more enrichment material and things like that, so that you guys have everything you need to really just have a good experience here. And basically, it's going to cover the time together, but also have more than you need in terms of resources. So you'll have to actually look at it. I'll give this material to you on Sunday, the Sunday before you lead, and I'll even try and give you guys a few more weeks up front, maybe 2 to 3 weeks up front, so that you can really look at the flow for the next 2 or 3 weeks. But then after that, you'll have material passed on to you on the Sunday before you lead. So you have time to look at it, prepare for it, mentally prepare, pray, and get ready for this thing so that just God uses you in a powerful way. So the first week we'll be talking about this question: what on earth am I here for? This kind of deals with our purposes and why we're here, what this is about, and essentially what we're here for is to love God and to love others. This is our core. This is what we're here for. This is what this is all about. So we're going to unpack this idea in the next 6 sessions as we're walking through this. Essentially, we're going to have some biblical purposes that we'll look at each week. As a church, we exist as a worshiping community of missional theologians. That's what the whole church exists for. What we want ideally is for the small groups to be together for a long period of time, and not to just last for a month or 2 or 3 months, but to last for a year or 2 or 3 years. Like that, how amazing would it be for a student to start high school and have the same group to do life with for the next 3 or 4 years? We want to establish this foundation for the students. And so we want to encourage you guys to go deeper with your students and lead them in the faith. Lead them to a place where they're growing with Jesus and they're understanding who He is. Now, it's not easy to do this alone. This can get really challenging and discouraging. So we want to encourage you guys to find a co-partner to do this journey with, so you're not alone. A co-partner is going to help you guys out tremendously. So find that person. You may have 5, 6, or 10 kids in the group. The first week, you want to cast the vision to the students and let them know of essentially the 5 biblical purposes. This is what we're going to try and walk through. This is what we're going to try and understand as we're together. We want to know God and love others well. And so this stuff is really valuable and important to look at. A senior pastor once told me, he said, "Jesse, it's important to reach into the lives of those who are a part of the group already and have a hand in the lives of the students that need to be coming that are not yet coming." So this is going to be an open group thing, so it's not just closed off at this point. However, once this summer house group is over, you can then decide with your group if you want to continue going as a closed group. If that's the case, that's an option that you'll have. Now, we want to just support you in that decision, and so whatever you guys decide is fine with us. But that's going to be an option at the end of the season of July. So that's going to happen. We want you guys to just encourage your students to invite their friends and get them involved, because this is just a part of being a missional church community. We want people to come in and get plugged in. But again, once we're done here, there's the option of closing the group off, so you guys can just continue growing together and maturing your faith. What I want to just share kind of briefly is that when I first became a Christian, I had a journal and I had my first Bible and I wrote tons of notes, tons of ideas and thoughts in this thing. And it's cool to get to look back and go back and retrace kind of my process as a young believer in Jesus. Now, I just want to encourage you guys to also encourage your students to have a journal and a Bible and bring that with them each week and just take notes and look at it. This is just a cool thing. If they don't do it, which they might not, that's okay, that's fine. But if just encourage them to do this is a cool thing to encourage them in. Oftentimes, when students first meet up, there's fears and concerns and issues. Your job as a facilitator and a pastor is to make them feel loved and supported and cared for. On the first meeting, don't call them out, make them feel awkward, and be like, Chance, that was a bad thing. Like encourage them along, be sensitive to them as they might feel, kind of awkward, and also still deciding if they want to come back or not. It's your job to make them feel welcome. This is a huge thing also to make your group feel like it's a community and not a clique. So if kids are being weird and snappy and strange or whatever, like take hold of the group, set the standards. You're going to start by setting group covenant with the students, and so that's going to help frame each week that you guys meet, and hopefully just really deal with things before they come up. So when you guys first meet, you'll come up with covenants together. The students will then walk through the covenants and make agreements to follow the covenant. And then each preceding week, you're going to pull the covenant out so that kids know this is why we're here, this is what we're about. This creates a safe space and makes them feel like this is okay to talk and to share because it's not going to be, shared with other people outside the group, and it's going to be just an opportunity for us to really just be clear. Also, if a new kid comes in for the first time, those covenants are read and they understand, hey, this is what we're about. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. It's also your responsibility to contact the students who are coming. Hopefully contact them. Well, the goal is to contact them 3 times before we meet in June, and then each week call each student at least 1 time and check in with them. If a student misses a week, call them and say, hey, we missed you. Bummed you weren't here. Please come back next week. This is what we're doing, and just kind of just be present with them through this journey. Finally, we're going to have an opportunity for the students to do what's called a spiritual health assessment. This is optional, but we encourage it. They'll take this material home that week and take a small test. And this is basically, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. They'll go over this and we'll have an opportunity to better understand how they hold evangelism, fellowship, discipleship, ministry, and worship. So it's cool. It's good to just kind of know, hey, this is where my heart is right now, this is where I'm at, and they'll then bring that with them the following week. I don't see junior high students necessarily doing this. I do see high school students doing this. Anyway, high school students definitely drive this. Junior high leaders, maybe think about it, see what you guys think. In closing, I heard one time a pastor say that if you want to grow in your spiritual journey, put yourself in a role of shepherding others. Which you guys are doing. I applaud you guys. I'm proud of you guys. You guys are doing such a wonderful job just staying consistent with these students. I want you guys to know that you're not alone. We are in this with you, and I'm here to walk alongside you in this just crazy, amazing journey that you're on. Thank you guys so much. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.